You know we had to do a podcast, right?
What's your name, fat body?
Of course, you were looking food. What the hell?
I'm not fat. I'm big boned.
I'm gonna eat it.
You owe me for one jelly donut!
Fat motherfucker.
Listen to it. My wife said no one's gonna listen to us.
I've got bigger titties than you do!
Bullshit, because nobody fucking had geese back at that point for a bigger guy.
I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I might be somebody's shot of whiskey.
You can't think about, hey, I need to lose 100 pounds. You think about winning that day.
Fucking, I want a cheeseburger and a milkshake. Yo, what's up, Fathletes, and welcome to episode 41 of the Fat Boy Jiu-Jitsu podcast. This is the first episode in 2019. What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. Hope the holidays weren't as rough on you as the holidays weren't rough on me, but old Juan here, he ate a little too much during the holidays, and I kept it keto, but I did overeat just a little bit, and I came back to Orlando from vacation on the 1st, and I was a little bloated. Your boy was not just bloated, had some little bit extra water weight, but I felt heavier. I definitely felt heavier, and it wasn't good. But 2 weeks in, and I'm already down to what I was, so I'm gonna call it a win, and don't want to make that a habit. But before I dive in too much into this year, I want to touch back or rewind and go back to December when I was supposed to run a triathlon. So the week leading up to the triathlon was supposed to be on a Sunday, December 16th. And well, first off, let me tell you guys this, that from August of, it's 2018, right? August of 2018 to December, I swam a total of 30,975 yards, of which the bulk of them came in September and October, which equated to about 17 and a half miles. I biked a total of 156 miles, with the only 2 months that I actually biked were in August and September. And then I ran a total of 82 miles, 82.93 miles. And the bulk of those came in October, with a total of 21 for that month. So coming from someone who never really did anything like that, that was a hell of a lot of cardio in those 4 months. The running thing, I'm starting, never thought I would say this, but I'm actually starting to enjoy running. Many of you guys don't know, but in previous life, I had, or many years ago, I had went to the police academy. And in the police academy, I had a captain who was the head PT instructor, and he talked about him running like 3 miles a day. And I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Why would you do that? And now that I actually kind of started running, I'm actually enjoying it. But at the same time, I hate it with a passion. But anyways, let me go back. So, run 82.93 miles, biked 150, whatever it was, and then swam 17.5 miles in 4 months. Not bad. The months leading up to the triathlon, my wife's company had been sold, and the very week leading up to that triathlon, sometime in either October or November, she was told that she would have to fly to Chicago, and she would just, it was kind of like, man, I think it was even late November they told her, or early November, that they told her, oh, well, next month you have to go to Chicago because it was a new corporate training. And it was just a mandatory thing, and it was like, okay, well, that kind of sucks. So it kind of like, it was horrible for me because I was like, well, how am I going to train and, do everything, that whole week I did not make it to jiu-jitsu once. I just couldn't pick up Uriah without, I didn't want to leave the baby with, just my family the whole day. It's kind of crazy how I wanted to spend time with her and see her. So I kind of, it was a struggle. So big ups to those single parents that, take your kids and yourselves, go to jiu-jitsu. Man, it's a lot of work. I really commend you guys. Especially if you have multiple kids. One, I know when it's one, it's not that bad. Kids are a struggle. So, if you make it, you're a single parent. Hell, if you're parents anyways, if you'd be able to take your kids here, there, man, you guys know it's amazing. It's hard work, but you do it for them. So that week she has to go to Chicago. And I was able to still kind of train for the tri. I would go to, no, this is the funny thing. I wanted to. I just ran that week because on that Monday, I go to the gym and they had emptied the pool because they were going to get some work done. I think they refinished parts of it or whatever. So the pool was going to be out of service from the 12:10 to 12:15. I remember the days because I was like, well, the Monday I missed out because I drove to that gym and I couldn't backtrack, double pack, and still make it back to work in time for lunch. So on that Monday, I did make it out because I had my sister come watch the kids and I went out. So then Tuesday rolls around, I go, Tuesday and Wednesday I went during lunch to the other gym. Thursday, as I'm getting ready to go to lunch, get a Facebook message from a friend, and she goes, hey, did you get the email that I just got? And I had no idea what she's talking about. She goes, they canceled it. And I was like, wait, what? So I immediately tried looking for this email, and I didn't get it. I didn't get it for probably about another 45 minutes. And I just think that because her last name ends with a C, that, but it doesn't make sense because it should have been an email blast. Anyways, I didn't get it for another 45 minutes. I go to the website, and I realized that it said something about if you were registered for this event, check for your email. Now, I kind of knew something was fishy on Wednesday because I was actually going to make an Instagram post about how many days until the event. And I had previously used their countdown calendar, and I think I did it the week prior. I had looked at it and it said something like it was 2 days less than what it really should have been. And I noticed that the countdown was actually counting down to the final day of registration, which was that Friday, and the pre-packet pickup day, which was Friday. So on Wednesday, when I went to the website to do that, I noticed the countdown was gone and it was just a white screen. I was like, oh, that's strange. Okay. Didn't think anything of it. I get that email, the PM on Thursday, and I'm like, no shit. So wait for the email, find out they canceled the event. And I was just in shock. I just said, man, there's no way. I go, of course this would happen. And then I immediately started thinking, well, you know what? What can I do? So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just go ahead and run it a mock triathlon and do it from the trunk of the truck. You know, I'll put the bike in there. And it's exactly what I did. And then I thought about it. I was like, wait, I can't do that because the pool is empty. So then I called LA Fitness, and they said, oh yeah, the pool is going to be ready and open on Saturday, so you'll be good. So I called Saturday, and I'm sorry, no, it was Friday. She said, no, it should be good Friday. You were good to open. Saturday, I called them again, and they said, no, it didn't open, but we're going to open definitely later on this afternoon. Saturday afternoon, I called them, and they're like, oh, no, we still didn't get them. It's still not going to open but today, but it'll open tomorrow for sure. Sunday rolls around, and the person I talked to for sure assured me that it would be open on Sunday. So then I said, okay, well, as long as I have that place, the pool secure, then I know. And I chose that gym specifically because of how the trail meets up to where the gym is, and that way it's easier just to keep the bike there, and I wouldn't have to be riding on the roads as much, because I had too many. Actually, one of the main reasons I stopped riding as much was because I had a really close encounter with somebody in a car, and it shook me. And you know what? It's unless it's going to be on a trail, and I really don't want to ride. And so, because of when it started getting darker, is when I was stopped being able to go ride at night on the trails. So that's kind of what stopped me from riding as much. And Saturdays I do jiu-jitsu in the morning and stuff, so I don't want to come, and that's just pure laziness, really. But I should have been able to do that. Go on Saturdays, right after jiu-jitsu, and go for a couple miles of riding. But it just didn't work out that way. So I knew going into running a mock triathlon, which is one of the main reasons they canceled the other triathlons, because they said they couldn't keep everybody safe, and so because of that, they were going to have to cancel. I can run another one. I just have to pick a different date, and they made sure to let us know that there was no refunds, but you can use your entry fee for another entry fee, and I just haven't. And then I would be able to double back, leave the bike back in the truck, and then use that same trail system to do the 3.1, or at least go out and come back to make 3.1. So I was like, I planned it, and my friend goes, "Oh, so you're gonna do this?" I go, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna let this bother me. I'm just gonna run a mock triathlon." And so much was because I knew this was a test because of what I had experienced before with the the Bike MS, right? And I told you guys the story how, I told everybody I did it and I didn't, and how much of a horrible dude I felt like for many years because of that. So I said, no, I can't. I'm going to run it. I don't care. Yeah, it's not official, whatever, but I know I ran my race. So legit, I wasn't trying to let anything stop me. So I'm prepped. I'm ready. I go to run Sunday morning. We get to the LA Fitness, and I sign up. My friend signs up because she wasn't a member, but she was just going to pay for the day pass. And I was trying to give her a VIP pass, or like a comp pass, and they were being difficult about it. And then come to find out, after she pays, they're going to be difficult about us going into the pool, because apparently it still was not done. And I started to bother me, and I started to kind of be a dick with the front counter person. And I was upset because I had been told on multiple occasions that the pool should have been open on Friday, and now it's Sunday and it's still not open. And this was my plan. And not being that gym really kind of was going to be a detriment to the plan because of how I mapped everything out, and I didn't want to map everything out on the fly on Sunday. It was already starting to get a little later, so all the church traffic was coming out, so the roads that I would have used are now going to be heavier traffic. So anyways, I kind of left, we kind of walked out, and then somebody else came and said, no, you can use the pool, don't worry. Well, karma so had it that the days leading up to us swimming or doing the triathlon, my friend's like, oh, if we do it in the LA Fitness, I'm wondering about the swim. I had been the week before nervous about the swim because of how cold it had been in Florida. Been below 60s, lower 50s and stuff for 2 weeks. Something that we don't ever experience, right? And I said, man, that water temperature is going to be really freaking cold. And I had purchased a tri-suit for the triathlon, but I wasn't going to wear a wetsuit. My cousin has a scuba diving wetsuit, and I borrowed it for him, and I was going to wear it worst case. I tried that thing on, and I knew immediately that if I had to wear that wetsuit, it would have been horrible because it was, like I said, it was meant for scuba. So your shoulders, it was so you can barely swim and do an actual stroke. So this whole time I had been, swimming one way, it was going to be completely different. So in my mind, once I had settled on swimming at the LA Fitness, all of that was just out the window. I was not worried about swimming anymore. It just, I'm like, oh, this is going to be like another day. Bingo. Well, like I said, karma has it that because they had just recently filled the pool, and we're still fixing it, and as of yesterday, the day before, had just AKA quote unquote fixed it. I realized I was doing the quote symbols in my hand, and I'm like, oh wait, this is an audio thing that they're never gonna know. So quote unquote fixed it. They hadn't turned on the pool pump or ran the heater, or there's so many gallons in there, It hadn't been heated yet. Nobody told us this. So my friend she goes, is this going to be, this is going to be nice and warm. And I was like, oh yeah, this water's great. She jumps in and goes, oh my God, you liar. And I go, what? I go, this is a heated pool. And she goes, no, it's not. So I jump in and I was like, oh my God. That water must have been 59 degrees, 60 degrees. I mean, it might have been cooler. I don't know. But that thing was so cold. So I look at her and I go, man, let's just start this because I'm cold. And she goes, yeah, let's start. So boom. I said, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Started the watch, and I started. That's where I got the time. And I started my. So I was wearing my Apple Watch on my left hand, while wearing. I have this Timex Triathlon heart rate monitor stopwatch, and I was wearing that on my right hand. I was just being a dork because I wanted to wear the heart rate monitor, and I didn't actually. The entire race, I didn't really pay attention to it. So, did the swimming, got out, ran out to the car, changed, waited, got on the bikes, started going. There was a couple mishaps on the trail, and I stopped a couple times, but and that actually, I stopped to help somebody who had fallen. Keep on driving, whatever. On the way back, stopped and waited a bit. Now, I could have probably done the bike a little bit faster, and I know I could have, but I'm glad I didn't. So I meet up with my friend. We're putting back the bikes in the trucks, and then from there I start running, and I start running with her, and just thinking about, oh look, man, I've already swam, I've already ran, or I've already biked, and I'm already running. I go, man, I'm a little tired, but this fight kind of feels good. I was on such an adrenaline high that I was keeping up with my friend, and man, I ran at like a 9-something pace, a 9.5 minute pace for a 5K. And that something that I never thought would be possible going into this. And I really think, yeah, I could have probably done better on the bike, but had I not waited for her, then, I would have ran my pace, and I probably would have ran a lot slower. And I know I would have. I think I would have. I don't know. I think I honestly would have ran it kind of like I run when I'm training, and just not to kill myself, but to get, a run. And whereas had it been at the event, I wouldn't have necessarily needed somebody to run with me, since I would have just used the crowd and I just think it would have been a different atmosphere. So it would have been a little bit different. But that day, I think running with her helped me so much, and it really opened my eyes to what I could do. And that's really what sparked. I go, man, if I can go in 4 months and go from, running what in December the year before, a 1.5 miles took me 20 minutes, then to running a 5K in 30, man, what else can I do? So I'm trying to continue running, to the point where I actually almost thought about something, but I don't want to do it. So that was me ending, the year. After the triathlon, it was Christmas, and I went on Christmas Day. We flew out to Texas and spent time with my wife's family. It was great. And I come back, and I think it's a little true what they say about having, like, I had just accomplished this, and I was like, oh, snap, what's next, right? And the what's next, man, the what's next is interesting, because you can there's a couple different ways you can go, and sometimes, sadly, the what's next is the couch, and you got to fight, and that can't be the what's next. It really can't be. And I decided I was going to take on this something what I thought wasn't going to be as hard as it is, but it's kind of fun, and it's 100 burpees a day, every day, for the year. And I originally thought for the first 100 days. And it wasn't to a buddy of mine. I told him I had got the idea to do 100 burpees for 100 days, and he goes, "Oh well, I'm going to do 100 squats, sit-ups, and push-ups for the year." And when he told me that, I go, "Oh man, the year?" I go, and I cringed as I did the math in my head, and I go, "Oh man, that's gonna hurt." So it wasn't until last minute I was like, "Yeah, let me do the year." And now I'm committed. I got to do the year. It's out there. I've posted pictures about it. Man, it's incredibly difficult to do them every day. My arms are killing me. And the first couple that I do, the last couple of days, the first couple I do are very, very slow. And it's like the warm up, really. And it's not until like the 20th one that I start really getting into a groove. And I don't mind starting off slow. And so now I kind of got somebody to do them with me. My buddy's doing the 300 reps. I found a friend, JP from our CrossFit gym, who's doing them with me. I think another friend, she's trying to catch up, she said. And I got some people doing 100 burpees. There's a couple others that man, they're doing 10, and that's great. 10 a day. They're trying to get up to 20. Look, take your time. It's you're trying to be better than yourself. This is to challenge yourself. It's not to challenge. It's really not to challenge me. I'm legit. Not even 2 weeks in. Today's the 13th day, so not even 2 weeks in, and I'm already starting to see changes from doing the burpees every day. So I cannot wait to see what it looks like in 3 months. At the end of 100 days, what it should have been. It's going to be interesting. Well, guys, that's going to be the podcast for this week. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for reviewing. Thank you for sending me emails. To those of you who contact me about keto and stuff, thank you very much. And man, just take it day by day, guys. It's this ain't a race. It's a marathon. And I hate using that analogy, really, but it's a good one. It's slow and steady. This is day by day. It doesn't matter, how long it takes you, as long as you get there. So, deuces. See you next week. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Fat Boy Podcast. Have a nice day.